Welcome back to the Limkokwing Leaks, and thanks for tuning in. Today's guest is my friend V. Hi, V. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So V is from Eswatini, formerly known
Yeah.
as Swaziland, and
Yeah.
for Limkokwing for quite a while. How many years did you work there?
I was there for worked I think is about okay, I was in Malaysia at Limkokwing since 2011. So I just left 2019. So it's been
Wow, good 8 years.
a good 8 years of my
Okay.
life.
Okay, that's a long time. And from 2011, were you also working there while you were studying there, or?
I was a student ambassador, but I was not that active. So I was undercover.
Yeah, an undercover ambassador. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So, so just so people know the nature of your work, so V was my colleague at Talent Development
Yeah.
at Limkokwing University. We
Mm-hmm.
worked under Tiffanee,
Yep.
and our office, so Talent Development operated kind of like a PR agency, and it was responsible for events, media, the billboards, the events outside of university.
Yeah.
V was actually with me at the infamous More Caucasians photo shoot. Do you remember that day?
Oh, don't remind me. That shoot was fun though. We had fun when we were shooting it, and then only to find out we had to be, replaced. Oh God, don't remind me of that day.
Yeah. How did you feel, by the way? I don't think that, because we were all so angry about it, but I don't think we really spoke about how it made us feel.
So when we saw the messages, my first thing was, I asked myself, what is it? Is there something wrong with my face? Is there something wrong with what is it? Maybe. But then when we actually talked about it later, it made me so angry to the point where I wanted to throw things at people.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
Like you are telling me I'm not good enough, but you are telling people to replace my face with a person who's blonde. Like, the hell, bro? So, and it triggered so many emotions, because I went home, I chilled, I was like, okay, and I'm not good enough. That's what my thing that's what I was thinking at the time. I'm not good enough. So many emotions, honestly.
That was your first experience with racism with the university, right? So
that was the first legit, yeah.
Yeah, you were a bit confused. I knew it for what it was straight away, because I had experiences before, with the whole Malacca fashion show where they didn't want any black people because people in Malacca, according to Dato Fajura, people in Malacca don't like black people. So that was my first experience. And then the choir story. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
The choir was too full. We didn't make the cut. But when Iman, my flatmate at the time, who's from Brunei, shout out to my girl Iman, who stood up for me and my other friend. When Iman went to the choir rehearsals, they were like, actually, we need some more people. Iman was like, well, Malaz and so, don't want to mention her name. Maybe she doesn't want to be mentioned. Malaz and so were told that they didn't make the cut. Why? And she straight up asked them, is it because they're black? And then they actually said out of their mouths, yes, they're a little bit too roasted. So but that was when I was a student. And again, it wasn't directly to me. I just always heard it from somebody. Oh, Dato Fajura said this, or oh, so and so from Sound and Music said this. But this was the first time that I saw it from somebody who was my boss, who I worked directly under, but somebody that I actually respected. And I was actually very surprised that would come out of her. Like, I would expect that again from SMT, the older people, the boomers up in SMT, from Limkokwing, Fajura, and Danya. But I would have never expected it from somebody who was close to me in age. and somebody that I actually used to like.
That the whole thing just messes up your mind, you know.
It makes you feel really, really insecure. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
ever since leaving that place, every job that I would apply for, I would already have like these ideas that, oh,
Yeah.
you know what, I might not get this job because I'm black. Or,
Thank you.
yeah, or I would refuse to put my picture on my CV because I didn't want people to know that I was black. So I would just show up to the interview and I can woo them and they can, you know, give me an opportunity
Yeah.
to
To
express
actually
myself and show myself for what I
feel.
am instead of judging me based on my skin color. So it really did.
Yeah.
Working there really messed with my mind and really made me aware of my skin color and that it could be a detriment to my success.
Yeah.
It's sad
It
to
makes
say.
you, yeah. It makes you feel some kind of worthless, you know.
Yeah.
They made me feel like I was nothing, like I didn't matter. You're just using me for my labor. That's it.
Hmm.
After that, we don't really need you, honestly. Oh, they would say that too. Like, I don't really
Yeah, they
need
would
you.
actually say that.
And you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Hurt.
Well, that, so let's talk about working under Tiffanee in
Oh,
talent development and the nature of our jobs. So most people have heard the recordings of where she could be heard saying, you know, calling people monkeys and
oh.
stupid and etc. But so we could just paint a clearer picture
Mhm.
of how it was. So I kept in contact with many of many of the people that were working in talent development
That's awesome. Yeah.
after I left. But I heard that after I left that it got much worse. That the nights were getting longer, the scolding sessions were, you know, through the night.
It was, oh God, how do I even start this? You thought it was worse when you was there, but as time went by, I felt like every day I was a victim. Let me be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I told this to her I've told her that I felt like every
Who's
time you would
her?
walk in,
Tiffanee.
Tiffanee,
Mm-hmm.
every time you would walk in, I knew it, you was going to say something. If it was not the door that is open or the water that is on the table or a picture that I was supposed to print or the machine, it was always something that it would be the tiniest things that would trigger her to have I don't know, it's not a meltdown. I don't know if it's called a meltdown. That was not a meltdown. That was just worse.
Just so she would berate you. A reason to berate you. To
something. There'll be always
yeah.
something that she will find to say to me.
Yeah, to put you down.
Yes. Every day, yes. Every single day. They reached a point where I didn't even want to go to work because I knew what was coming. It was going to be the same thing today. She's going to shout at me for something I know I did right, but it was, to her, it was not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
There was always, V this, V that, V, who do you think you are? All these name callings. It came to a point where it became normal in the office. They knew, even if you ask anybody in the office, they knew that if something happens, V's going to get scolded. It was that bad. And
it was always directed towards you.
Towards me. If it's not student ambassadors maybe student ambassadors are sitting at the plaza.
Mm-hmm.
Normal thing, right? Like, why the student ambassadors have not been dressed in black? Why it was always something. You know, student ambassadors are complaining that they haven't gotten paid. Why haven't you submitted their hours? Why haven't you done this? There are people in the meeting room. Why are they not being attended to? Why are you not? It was always something.
It was constant.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
It was constant, and it reached. I would go home, cry. You would cry in the office in front of everybody. You know, if you think your tears can do anything, is it? So you're just going to, because even if you answered back to her, it made things worse.
I actually have an hour-long recording. So I'm just going to play this recording real quick. I'm going to play a minute from the 44-minute mark.
Now, what are you reducing us to? Why the hell do you not understand what our job is? You're fucking running around doing this crap when actually we work for a university. This is the easiest part of our day, and you're making it the horriblest experience of my week. For fuck's sake, it's easy. You know what's hard? Actually running a school and being more intelligent than all of you fuckers. You're damn fucking stupid. And why do I have to deal with you like this?
So with that clip, you can actually hear people crying in the background.
Yeah, that day was bad. That day was really bad. That day was bad, but there were worse days. I don't even remember what the argument was about, honestly, because as I was saying, it's the smallest things that would create this huge argument, and then somebody will have to take the blame. If it's not me, if it's not an intern or somebody, it will never end. The thing is, it will repeat itself, and then when someone is repeating the same thing in your head, you start to believe whatever the person is saying. So I started to believe and think that maybe I was a bitch, maybe I was It really haunts me till today. Like when I hear someone like cursing or something, or someone shouting, I feel like, okay, or what's going to happen? You fear for your life,
and it's like anxiety, or it's PTSD. Like I'm not a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist, but I'm pretty sure that is PTSD.
It got worse, my life. It got so worse that every day it was constant, and you would try to do the best you can. I tried to do everything I could to make sure, okay, today she's happy. It didn't. She would tell me, you're good for nothing. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? You are not working. You are useless. I don't really need you to work for me. You can change departments. We can send you to threats that I love working in talent. There was amazing people in the office. We had the best team ever. Our team was everything. We could do things like so quick.
We were everything, and we had such a strong bond as well.
But then when she would come in, everything would just scatter. Like the whole day's work, it would feel like you've done nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. So I never felt good about myself, about anything.
Yeah.
Every day I felt like I was not good enough. I was never enough for anything in my life, because I have this person who's always talking negative things in my mind, in my head, to make me believe this is what you are.
Yeah.
This is what you're meant. You are good for nothing. Yes, then that's when it comes back to racism, because she would not say this to the other people in the office who had blonde hair, who had all these things, I was black. We had another girl who was black in the office, and you too. It was not the same. The treatment was not the same. We would get scolded, but that person
we got paid
would never
like
get
a quarter of what the white girls were getting paid.
For me, it was not about the money. The money didn't matter at some point.
But it does, because they pay you based on what they think you're worth. That's why it matters. I mean, money, like materialistically, it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah.
Realistically, materialistically, you know what I mean? But they pay you based on what they think you're worth. So that's where it's wrong.
Yeah.
They didn't think that you were worth anything. I admit that I probably got a better salary because of my nationality, which is so sad to say, that I had passport privilege. But I know for a fact, had I been Sudanese and I had a Sudanese nationality, because I am Sudanese, but had I had a Sudanese nationality, would I be getting paid the way I was getting paid? Would I be getting treated the way that I was treated? I would be getting treated much worse, even though I don't think that I was treated well at all. But I know how bad it could have gotten if I had a Sudanese passport.
Like when I actually think of it now, I wonder, why did I actually have to keep up with this for so long? This is the thing. So you, at the point, you think it was right? I was thinking, oh no, maybe I was wrong today. The next day you keep on thinking, oh, maybe I was wrong. Then you believe, yeah, you're always wrong.
Yeah.
So the thing, it becomes your thinking. So I'm always wrong. So there's nothing right that can ever come out of me. So it haunts you. And oh yeah, and plus I'm black, so I cannot even attend any welcomings or meetings or meet any VIPs on campus.
We had to hide. They would hide us when any in VIPs, unless they were black and from African countries.
They would need you to show up. Yes.
Yeah. I want to know, like, obviously the whole time, everything that we experience, from the pay disparity and the long working hours, that was a part of the discrimination. Can you tell me about a time that you felt discriminated against?
Oh, there's a lot.
Tell me about the one time, okay, or a few if you'd like, but the one time that was really significant that, did the most damage, if you could just share that with us.
The one that probably did the most damage, we were helping out at call center. There's this just called call center at Limkokwing, if anybody knows. So I was downstairs there. We would pick up calls. Everybody's calling, inquiring. So you need to handle students.
So this is like the reception kind of when people call in and ask questions or want to be transferred to somebody.
Oh, yes.
On campus.
It's some sort of a reception. So we used to work there with my friend. I won't say her name right now.
Let's give her another name.
Okay, I used to work with her. Her name is Nadia.
Nadia.
Okay. Yes, we used to work at call center. We used to pick up
calls. Where's Nadia from?
She's from Botswana.
Okay.
Yes, so we used to work at call center. So every day we used to go there, pick up calls, answer calls, and then one day, she was called to the office, main office. Okay. What do you call it?
SMT.
SMT. Yes, called by
SMT. Okay.
And then I was like, oh, yo, let me know. I'll just hold it down here for a bit until you come back, because it's just the two of us. So later on, she did not come back. So time was up. It was 6:00. I had to go back to the main office, talent office. So I went there. I looked for her. Yo, why didn't you come back? And then she's like, yo, something happened. They just called us all these names. They said that Africans are unsanitary. They have AIDS and they are dying. I was like, what?
Why? What? Wait, okay. So why did they say that? I mean, obviously there's no excuse for it, but
she was working at another campus in Africa, one of the African campuses.
Can we know exactly which campus this is, or you don't want to say? Eswatini. So Nadia was from Botswana, and she was working in the Eswatini campus. And what brought her to Malaysia?
So before she actually came, there was a strike, a huge strike. Yes, a strike. It was like students were just rioting.
Why were they rioting or striking?
Because they had not gotten what they had asked for from management. Management being Limkokwing Management, Eswatini. And then management had asked headquarters, which is Malaysia, to offer them these things. So they've been promising for so long.
What are these things?
It was never true. Like books, some resources from the library, and some like computer-related things. So they just wanted some. They wanted things from the university, but then they were not given. They wanted iPads to work. They were
from
promised
Malaysia.
These things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So Tan Sri and SMT promised senior management in the Limkokwing Eswatini campus resources, school resources, computers, books, etc. And they are saying no, you're not getting it.
Yes.
So the people went on strike.
So they said, no, they did not. They went on, they did go on strike. And then this thing went on and on and on. And then the students started doing some damaging property, because nobody was listening. So she was on campus. So she felt like her life was being threatened. So she left. Mm-hmm. Okay? So
Okay.
she left. She's like, okay, I need,
She left to
safely.
Malaysia.
She had to leave. She left to Botswana, and then she was offered a job from Botswana to come to Malaysia. So when she came to Malaysia, she was called to an office to explain herself what really happened in Swaziland. So she explained herself, and then that's when this whole thing came up. I don't know the full story of what she replied when they asked her about it. The only thing she said to me is that Africans are unsanitary. We are, we have AIDS. We are dying. That's what flipped the switch on me, because you don't say that about people. You don't say that. These are things you need to be sensitive about, but it was okay for them to just to blubber it out like it was just like some
that isn't even, something
like
that carries racial undertones. That is extremely and straight up, flat out racist and disgusting.
I just remembered a story that happened when we were working on a big project for my country, SADC. So we were working day and night for this ish. And then I was told, okay, don't worry, you'll be one of the teams that are going there. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down for it. It's my country, I'm so proud. I'm working tirelessly, getting information, sharing it with them. And then when the day came for us to fly, I asked for my ticket. I'm like, yo, where's my ticket? What time is my flight? They're like, oh, you are not going.
They told you the day that you were supposed to fly that you're not going.
The day I was in the evening, that my flight was supposed to be in the evening. So I went there in the afternoon. It was like, yo, where's my ticket? I heard I was supposed to fly. They told me you're not going anywhere. I'm saying, who's going? So the person who told me also, this person, this person, this person, this person. And I'm like, okay, who African who's going? Because it's an African country, it's SADC. So they're like, no Africans are going. I'm like, they're like, why should you bring an African to an African country?
That's so ridiculous. The rationalizing, the reasoning that it's
so you would bring somebody who does not speak their language, probably doesn't even speak proper English.
Which country is this? I mean, SADC is a group of countries.
SADC. The SADC was happening in Eswatini. It was so
they
frustrating.
made you work all on this project tirelessly, and they didn't tell you all this time that you were not traveling till the very day that you were supposed to travel when you asked for your ticket.
Told, yes. I was told you were going. Don't worry, you'll be with us. You'll be part of the Limkokwing.
That was to get you to keep working, basically, to make it seem like
right.
This was. Yeah. So again, another example of how they just snatch opportunities. Yeah. They just snatch them away because you're black.
Because I'm black.
Yep. Awful. I want to know about this one particular incident that happened to you. So, Limkokwing University has this habit of going to the airport, sending people off, always SMT, so the datos and the transferees. Everybody has to go to the airport and send them off when they're going to Africa. And then when they're coming back, everybody has to go to the airport and pick them up. And that's where all these, big banners of the King of Africa, the Queen of Africa, these are all airport pickups. They just always want to make this big, massive show.
Yeah.
So there was a time where you were sending off Tansri, I think, Limkokwing. You were sending him off. But on the way to the airport, something happened to you. There was like an incident of how you were treated. Can you please describe to our listeners what you went through on that ride to the airport?
This day, they were going for graduation. It was Dr. Gail, I forgot the other guy's name. They were all going to the airport, and one of our colleagues in the office, it was the first time going to Africa, okay? She's Malaysian. And on that day, so we was running late a bit. So me, my other colleague, and Dr. Tiff got into her car, okay? And then we had to drive. Yes, Dr. Tiff's car. So we had to drive to the airport. It was like 20 minutes away from Limkokwing. So on our way to the airport, I was reporting on some work that I was doing. It was about ambassadors, and I wanted her to sign some hours, if I'm not mistaken. So I said, Dato, please, can I please speak to Dato? I need Dato's approval to for ambassador's hours. So, and then that became an argument that the whole day, why didn't you ask me to sign all this? You're asking me in my car. Who do you think you are? This is my car. You come into my car. You don't say anything. You just want me to sign stuff. It was a big argument. Okay, it was just massive. I was
an
called
argument?
names.
Like you were both yelling at each other, or she was
No,
just yelling at you?
she was just yelling. I was not saying anything. I was not saying anything. And then the next thing I said, I remember I said, I'm sorry. And they said, you're always sorry about so many things. You can't even, you don't even have manners. You don't come into my house and be doing the same thing. You come into my car. You demand me to do stuff. Who do you think you are? So she was sitting directly behind me. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting next to the driver. She's sitting directly behind me. So my shoulder, when you're sitting in the car, right? She's just near my ear. So she was sitting upright. So she was pushing my shoulder, you know, when someone is upset, like
poking
you think you're like poking,
shoving you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at first I didn't believe what was happening. I thought maybe she's just pushing the chair, for instance. But then I turned and I was like, I'm sorry, Dato. I didn't mean it's because, you know, the whole day I was waiting for Dato to come to the office and then you got busy and now we're on the way to the airport. Yes, the students need to get paid. So no, you don't come to my car and demand me to do stuff. Who do you think you are? It was so heated. So imagine getting scolded in the car. It's her driver, myself, and my other colleague and her. It was so loud. I wanted to tell the driver to stop the car for me to get out because it was getting so intense. Someone is pushing me. I don't know if I'm going to get hit. I was terrified. I was like, listen, I was not born to come and suffer such things. If you want to fire me, just do it. You know, you cannot be doing this to me every day. It's a simple question. You would have said, not now, V, maybe later, you know, type of thing. Not scold me to the point where you are touching me. I was like, okay, this has gone to another level. Yes, I know you don't like me very much, but you cannot do this to me. So my other colleague was just there staring and looking at me, by the way. So I was like, you are not even going to say anything, is it? In my mind, but then you cannot say anything in her car. So I couldn't say anything. I wanted to, but anything that would come out of my mouth would make things worse. So I stayed quiet for 20 minutes until we reached the airport. Got to the airport. I was in tears. I didn't even want to say bye to these people because my eyes are blood red. And people are going to be asking what happened. And what are you going to say? They won't believe you. They won't believe you for jack.
Of course they'll believe you. Everybody knows what it's like. Everybody's seen it.
That day, the only thing some people would say is sorry. And now you want me to forgive you for everything?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I don't think it's unforgivable how they treated us and how they treated, you know, like I said, I didn't get the worst of it, but some people really, really had a bad experience. I want to ask you, how did you end up leaving? Did you resign normally or did you run away?
I ran, babe.
You ran.
I ran, but in a good running. But yeah, there's nothing. But I ran because I left. I was so sick. Sick. Before I left, I had to get blood transfusion. It was a mess.
Oh, you were really sick.
I was really sick. I had to get like a lot of blood in my system, and I had some other things going on in my blood. So the only way I left because I was going for medical treatment. So during that medical treatment, I had to take longer than the leave I had applied for. So in the meantime, people are busy texting me, when are you coming back? They're not even checking on you. I was like, F yo. Oh, sorry. I was just like, yo, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to come back. So I decided to just...
So they weren't even asking, are you doing okay? They're just asking, when are you coming back to work?
Nope. They were telling me, where's this, where's that? Can you write this press release? Can you send this email while you're in the hospital bed? I had a surgery that they didn't care for that. Didn't. They only wanted work. So I just decided when I was there, I was like, they don't care. I would actually die, and they will still be sending messages to my phone telling me to do work. So why am I doing this to myself? So I was like, I'm not going back. I did send an email though telling them I cannot come back because I was really sick. So I was like, I'm not healthy enough to go back to work anyways. So.
Did they reply to you? Did they?
No, they didn't. She didn't
respond. Well, I just want to ask you again, just like really quickly, go back to the Limkokwing leaks. How did you feel when you started seeing everything out there in the open, when a lot of people were coming forward and sharing their stories, and basically the billboard, like what many articles have described, has opened up a can of worms? How did that make you feel?
To be honest, I was happy. I was happy that you helped us. To be honest, you helped us to be able to actually speak up. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't tweeted that day about that, because that billboard had been there for a while. I did send it to my the billboard with King of Africa. It had been there for a while.
Since January. I remember tweeting about it in January. Yeah.
So when it was up there, if you hadn't done that, I don't know where we'll be. We'll still be in the same place. There'll still be discrimination. There still is now, even though he won't apologize.
Yeah.
They're just going to hide it. When I saw everybody responding and retweeting, and I was like, yo, it's either now or never.
Yeah.
Thank you. You gave us the opportunity. If it wasn't for you, we'll probably still be quiet. We'll probably be just blogging it in our blog post, and nobody will actually ever read it.
I don't know, man. I didn't even mean for it to get this out of hand, I was just tweeting my feelings, and it felt so good. I went to sleep, and I woke up to a message from Street, and I was like, damn, my tweets. He must have seen my tweets. And I realized I'd gone viral.
Yo, that actually gave me courage. That's what I think I DM'd you, if I'm not mistaken. I DM'd you with the blog post I had written that I hadn't posted. And then you were like, yo. And then we went back to our group from previous years. I was like, yo, my life is on fire. I was like, what happened? So I was like, okay, V, this is your chance. I was like, I am going to do whatever I can.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And I know this is for the better.
What do you want to see happen?
I want justice.
What would that be for you?
I want him to actually come out himself, not tweet, not himself to us and say what he has done and accept what he did wrong. Not only just say, send somebody his minions to say, oh, I'm sorry. He says no. I need him himself, because this comes from the top. So you need to remove it from the top so that it comes up with all the roots that come with it. So if it's not the top management person that we actually accept the fault, everybody else is still the same.
Yeah.
So he needs to come forth, accept what is wrong that has been done, and say it. And he's not only apologizing to me, he needs to apologize to all the countries he's lied to as well. Because all the promises you have made, Eswatini, Botswana, Lesotho, all this early on, we are paying, and my government is paying a lot of money for him to actually have this university, which he's not even maintaining or doing anything. He's only blaming government that they're supposed to do this. Yet, it's so many things, If you read the memorandum, you would actually understand that, hey, what he needs to pay for what he's done. We need a new management. We need new people in that place.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah, and I think they need to change the name, because that name is ruined now. There's no respect for that name.
No.
The respect for that name was long gone before I even opened my mouth.
No, but he's a special case. Not even a special. I swear, my love, I know we are fighting for the good, and I know our tears, all the tears we've cried for so many years, have not fallen down in vain.
Yeah.
It's about time they manifest into something that will benefit our society, our nations, because we do matter. It doesn't matter whether I'm light brown or dark brown or what. Every life matters. But now, in this case, some people are still treating us as if we are illiterate,
If
as
you don't
if
matter.
we are monkeys, or it hurts. Like to see somebody you actually looked up to when you were actually in high school saying, I want to study in that university, actually crush your dreams in a second.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I pray for those who are still on campus.
But V, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. I know it's probably brought up a lot of bad feelings, maybe some bad memories that you were trying to suppress. But I hope just sharing your story makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it does. It does. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Thank you, Malas. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate it for your time. And you need to rest as well. Please take care of yourself. Okay, we still need you.
Thank you. Yeah.
We still need you.
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, V.
You're welcome.
Best of luck.